They told you supplements were the answer. They told you that one more pill, one more capsule, one more dose would save your health. But here's the truth. If you're over 50, those same supplements can either protect your life or quietly work against you. This isn't about hype. It's about survival energy and clarity in the second half of your life. After 50, your body doesn't play by the same rules anymore. What once worked, what once gave you energy, what once promised protection can now leave you tired, drained, or even at risk. Magnesium, vitamin D3, and K2 are powerful tools, but tools in the wrong hands can cause more damage than healing. See, it's not just about what you take, it's about how you take it, when you take it, and whether your body is even prepared to absorb it. Too many people over 50 are popping pills without understanding the consequences. And if you don't stop and listen now, you could be sabotaging your health instead of strengthening it. Listen to me, the body you are living in right now is not the same body you had at 25 or 35 or even 45. You can deny it, you can fight it, you can try to drown it out with pills, powders, and routines that once worked for you. But the truth is this: after 50, your body changes the rules of the game. And if you don't change with it, you're going to pay the price. See, the mistake most people make is this: thinking they can keep treating their body like it's still young, still invincible, still bouncing back the way it used to. But that's not reality. After 50, your metabolism slows, your digestive system weakens, your cells repair themselves differently, and absorption of nutrients shifts. What once fueled you may now drain you. What once healed you may now harm you. And here's the real danger: you don't always see it right away. You don't collapse on the floor the first day you overdose your body. No. It creeps in quietly. The fatigue, the fog, the stiffness, the sleepless nights, the pounding in your chest. The warning signs are whispers at first, but if you ignore them, those whispers turn into screams. You cannot afford to be blind to your body anymore. Think about it. You wouldn't use the same strategy to win a war in your youth as you would in your later years. A young soldier has strength, speed, stamina, but a seasoned warrior survives with wisdom, precision, awareness. At 50 and beyond, your health is no longer about reckless energy. It's about strategic energy, about conserving what matters, fueling what works, and cutting out what doesn't. That's why you can't just take the same supplements in the same way you always did. Magnesium, vitamin D3, K2, powerful tools, yes, but in the wrong body, at the wrong time, in the wrong dose. They can be the very thing pulling you down, because here's what nobody tells you: after 50, your gut doesn't absorb like it used to. Your liver doesn't filter like it used to. Your bones, your muscles, your heart, your brain, they all demand a different kind of attention. And if you ignore those changes, you're not nourishing your body, you're punishing it. So let me ask you, are you paying attention? Or are you still pretending that time hasn't changed you? Because pride will keep you stuck. Pride will tell you, I've always done it this way, I'll keep doing it this way. But pride is the enemy of progress. The wise don't resist change, they adapt to it. When you cross 50, health is no longer about adding more. It's about adding better. It's about listening to your body like you never have before. It's about humility. It's about respecting the truth. I can't do what I used to do, but I can do what I need to do. And listen, that's not weakness. That's wisdom. That's strength. See, the younger version of you won battles with energy. But this version of you, this version wins battles with clarity, with discipline, with precision. Supplements can serve you, but only if you understand what your body is truly asking for. You don't feed a starving body the same way you feed a thriving one. You don't fuel a 20-year-old engine the same way you fuel a 50-year-old engine. Both engines can run, both engines can move, but each requires a different touch. After 50, your body doesn't just want you to give it more, it wants you to give it what is right. And that requires you to slow down, to learn, to test, to adjust. It requires humility, patience, and awareness. So don't fight the truth. Embrace it, because when you finally respect your body's new needs, something powerful happens. Your energy returns, your mind clears, your strength rebuilds, not the same strength of youth, but a deeper, steadier, more enduring strength. The kind of strength that carries you into the years ahead with dignity. The question is, will you humble yourself enough to learn what your body is really asking for? Or will you keep forcing yesterday's answers onto today's reality? Because one path leads to fatigue, pain, decline. The other to wisdom, vitality, longevity. The choice is yours. You've been told more is better. More pills, more powders. More bottles lined up on your shelf like soldiers ready to fight for you. You've been sold the idea that health comes in the form of more. But let me tell you the truth, after 50, more can be deadly. Listen to me carefully. There is such a thing as too much of a good thing. See, supplements like magnesium, vitamin D3, and K2 are powerful. They are not toys. They are not candy. They are tools designed to work in balance with your body. And balance is the key word here, because when you cross that line from balance into excess, The very things meant to heal you can start to destroy you. Let's start with magnesium. Yes, magnesium relaxes your muscles, calms your nerves, helps you sleep. But take too much and suddenly your heart rhythm changes. You feel weakness, dizziness, irregular beats. That's not healing, that's danger. Vitamin D3, one of the most recommended supplements on earth. People take it thinking it's harmless sunshine in a capsule. But take too much and your body begins building calcium in the wrong places. Not in your bones, in your arteries, in your kidneys, in your heart. Do you understand? The very vitamin you thought would strengthen, you can silently harden your arteries and push you closer to a heart attack. And K2, vital for directing calcium where it belongs. But again, balance matters. Without the right levels, without understanding how it pairs with D3, you risk tipping the scale in the wrong direction. This is why I say to you, health is not about more. It's about enough. But here's the problem. People are impatient. They think, if one pill helps me, then two will help me faster. If a small dose is good, then a bigger dose must be better. That's the lie. That's the trap. That's the voice that will rob you of your strength. Because the truth is this, your body is not a machine you can overload with fuel and expect it to run harder, faster, better. No, your body is a delicate system, every part connected, every function depending on another. When you throw that system out of balance with too much of one thing, you don't make it stronger, you break it. And the worst part, over-supplementation doesn't always show up right away. It hides, it works in the shadows, slowly building, slowly clogging, slowly stressing your organs until one day the damage is done. That's why you can't afford to play this game of more, because the game always ends the same way, with loss. So what's the answer? The answer is wisdom. The answer is restraint. The answer is humility to admit that your body doesn't need an army of pills to be well. It needs balance. It needs you to stop chasing more and start mastering enough. And let me ask you, why do you take supplements in the first place? Is it fear? Fear of aging? Fear of sickness? Fear of losing your edge? If fear is driving you, you'll always reach for more. But when wisdom drives you, you'll reach only for what's necessary. There's a difference between desperation and discipline. Desperation overdoses. Discipline measures, desperation grabs at everything, discipline listens. And discipline is what saves you after 50. Because your body at this stage isn't crying out for more, it's crying out for balance. It's not begging for a handful of pills, it's begging for you to listen. To pay attention, to treat it with respect, not recklessness. See, the strongest people I know in their later years aren't the ones taking the most, they're the ones taking the right amount. They know their numbers, they know their needs, they know that restraint is power, and that's the shift you need to make. From greed to gratitude, from more to enough, from recklessness to precision, because at the end of the day, supplements are not your savior, they are a tool. And any tool misused becomes a weapon against you. So don't overdose your body, don't overload your heart, don't clog your arteries with blind excess. Choose balance, choose wisdom, choose discipline, because health isn't found in more. Health is found in enough. Too many people are gambling with their health, waking up each morning, opening a cabinet filled with bottles and swallowing pills without the faintest idea of whether their body even needs them. That's not health, that's hope dressed up as science. And hope alone won't save you. Let me give it to you straight. Guessing is dangerous, especially after 50. Because here's the truth, your body is not like anybody else's. Your needs are not your neighbor's needs, your spouse's needs, or your friend's needs. What works for them may fail you. What heals them may harm you. And if you're over 50, your body doesn't just want guesses, it demands proof. That proof comes from testing. Blood work is not optional anymore, it's essential. It's your roadmap, it's the flashlight in the dark. Without it, you are driving blind, trusting luck to guide you through a storm. And storms don't care about luck. Think about this. Would you fly an airplane without checking the fuel gauge? Would you drive across the desert without looking at your tires, your oil, your engine? No. You prepare, you'd measure, you'd know what you have before you start the journey. Yet somehow people treat their own bodies with less care than they treat their cars. They swallow vitamin D without knowing if their levels are low or dangerously high. They take magnesium not realizing their blood already holds enough. They stack K2 without understanding what's happening with their calcium balance. And then they wonder why they feel worse, not better. Listen, your body is not asking for blind faith. It's asking for clarity. And clarity only comes when you test. I know what some of you are thinking, but testing costs money. Testing takes time. I feel fine. I don't need it. Let me challenge that thinking. Testing is cheaper than illness. Testing is faster than recovery. Testing is the bridge between ignorance and wisdom. You may feel fine today, but feeling fine is not the same as being safe. Many of the most dangerous conditions, arterial calcification, high blood pressure, kidney strain, they build quietly. They don't shout until it's too late. But a simple test can whisper to you early, slow down, adjust, change direction before it's too late. So why guess when you can know? After 50, life is not about rolling dice with your health. It's about taking ownership, about refusing to gamble with the years you still have left. Every year is a gift. Every day is borrowed time. You cannot afford to waste it on blind mistakes. Testing is respect. Respect for your body. Respect for the years you still have. Respect for the people who love you and depend on you. Because when you neglect testing, you're not just risking your own health, you're risking the moments you could have had with your children, your grandchildren, your friends. Think about the responsibility you carry, the legacy you want to leave. Do you really want to look back and say, I could have known, but I chose to guess instead? Wisdom doesn't guess. Wisdom measures, wisdom adjusts. And that's the shift you must make right now. Stop swallowing blindly. Stop copying what others are doing. Stop believing every headline, every blog post, every promise from a supplement company. Instead, demand truth from your doctor, from your tests, from your own body. Because your body speaks in numbers. It speaks in levels. It speaks in data that tells the real story of what you need. And when you listen to that story, when you test instead of guess, you give yourself power, power to adjust, power to balance, power to live longer, stronger, clearer. Testing is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is strength. It is humility. It is you saying, I will not gamble with my health. I will not play games with my future. I will know exactly what my body needs, and I will give it that, nothing more, nothing less. So the next time you reach for that bottle, pause, ask yourself, do I know what my body truly needs, or am I just guessing? Because one choice leads to clarity, balance, and longevity. The other leads to confusion, damage, and regret. And you already know which path is worth walking. Let me tell you something most people never think about. It's not just what you take, it's when you take it and what you take it with. Timing and pairing can mean the difference between a supplement healing you or wasting away in your system, doing nothing at all. Worse, the wrong timing, the wrong pairing can turn your so-called health routine into a slow poison. See, your body isn't a bottomless pit where you dump nutrients and expect miracles. No, your body is a symphony. Every vitamin, every mineral, every hormone is like an instrument. When they play together in rhythm, in harmony, the music is beautiful. But when one is out of tune, when one comes in at the wrong time, the whole song collapses into noise. Magnesium, vitamin D3, K2, they're powerful instruments. But if you don't respect timing and pairing, you don't get music, you get chaos. Let's start with vitamin D3. Everyone loves to pop it in the morning, thinking more energy will come with the sunrise. But D3 isn't just a vitamin, it's a hormone-like compound that affects your entire system. It works best when paired with K2 because K2 tells the calcium where to go. Without K2, calcium can wander into your arteries, into your kidneys, causing damage instead of strength. That's not health, that's harm. Now magnesium, this is your body's relaxer. It calms your nerves, helps your muscles, steadies your heart. But if you take it at the wrong time, like with a stimulant or right before your most active hours, you'll feel sluggish, heavy, drained. Take it at night though, and suddenly it becomes your ally. You sleep deeper, your muscles recover, your body repairs, same mineral, different timing, different result. This is the power of timing and pairing. But here's the mistake so many people make. They treat supplements like candy. Random handfuls swallowed with whatever meal, whenever they remember. No plan, no rhythm, no respect for the system. And then they say, these supplements don't work. No, they do work. But they don't work for people who refuse to work with them. Think about it like this. Imagine you have two keys. One opens the door to your house. The other starts your car. Both are important. But what happens if you use the wrong key at the wrong time? Nothing opens, nothing starts. Frustration. Failure. That's exactly what happens when you take the right supplement at the wrong time or without its proper pair. The key is right, but you're forcing it into the wrong lock. Now listen closely. This isn't about being perfect. This is about being intentional. Timing isn't about rigid rules. It's about respect. Respecting that your body absorbs differently in the morning than it does at night. Respecting that certain nutrients unlock others. Respecting that synergy matters more than dosage. See, your body isn't just chemistry, it's timing, even your heartbeat, your breathing, your sleep cycles, all of it is rhythm. When you live in rhythm with your body, everything flows. When you fight against it, nothing works. So let me ask you, are you swallowing supplements on autopilot? Or are you living in rhythm with your body? Because when you honor timing and pairing, something powerful happens. Suddenly, you don't just take supplements, you use them. You feel the difference. Energy stabilizes, sleep deepens, bones strengthen. Your body thanks you because you finally listened. This is the wisdom too many ignore. They think health is about buying the newest pill, the highest dose, the strongest formula. But health after 50 isn't about strength, it's about strategy. And strategy requires patience, timing, and knowledge. Timing and pairing are the quiet secrets that separate the frustrated from the fulfilled. They're the difference between wasting your money and changing your life. So stop rushing. Stop grabbing bottles like a desperate shopper in a sale. Slow down, study, respect the rhythm of your body. Pair what needs to be paired. Take what needs to be taken at the right time. Because when you do, you turn chaos into harmony, you turn noise into music, you turn supplements from a gamble into a gift. And in this stage of life, after 50, you don't need noise. You don't need chaos. You need harmony. You need rhythm. You need balance. So the next time you hold that capsule in your hand, remember it's not just what you take, it's when. It's with what? It's how. Get that right and you give yourself a song worth living to, a rhythm worth dancing to, a harmony that carries you strong into the years ahead. Let me tell you something most people don't want to hear. No pill, no powder, no capsule will ever replace real food. Supplements can support you, but they cannot save you. If you are over 50 and your diet is weak, if your plate is empty of real nutrition, then all the supplements in the world will do little more than fill your drawer and empty your wallet. Because here's the truth, supplements were never designed to be the foundation. They were meant to be the roof, the finishing touch, the reinforcement. But too many people are trying to build a house on a foundation of pills, forgetting that without the bricks of real food, the structure will collapse. Listen carefully. Your body knows the difference. It knows when it's fed living foods, greens, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins. It knows when it's fueled by sunlight, by water, by the earth. And it also knows when it's being tricked by a capsule. That pill may carry nutrients, yes, but it cannot carry the synergy of real food. It cannot carry the life force built into a fresh leaf of spinach, a ripe tomato, a piece of salmon, or a handful of nuts. See, food is not just calories. Food is communication. Every bite you take sends a signal to your body, telling it to build, to repair, to energize, to defend. And when you give your body processed food, empty calories, or nothing at all, you're sending the wrong signal. You're saying, break down, weaken, slow down. That's why so many people after 50 are confused. They're popping magnesium D3 and K2 every day, but they still feel tired, still feel stiff, still feel weak. Why? Because they're trying to build strength without bricks. They're trying to paint the house without walls. Supplements don't replace the work of food. They only enhance it. Take magnesium. Yes, you can get it from a pill. But when you eat leafy greens, beans, seeds, and whole grains, you're not just getting magnesium. You're getting fiber, antioxidants, phytonutrients, and dozens of other compounds that work together in ways science still doesn't fully understand. Vitamin D, a pill can help, but sunlight fuels your body in a way no capsule ever will. K2. Sure, you can swallow it, but when you eat fermented foods like natto, cheese, or sauerkraut, you're feeding your gut, strengthening your digestion, and building health from the inside out. Supplements are one ingredient. Food is the whole recipe. But here's the problem. People want shortcuts. They want to live on fast food, sugar, and processed junk, then patch the damage with a handful of pills. They want to skip the discipline of real eating and chase the illusion of health in a bottle. And that's why so many fail, because your body cannot be tricked. You may fool your mind, but you cannot fool your cells. They know what they're missing. They know when you've chosen ease over effort. So let me tell you the truth. If you want to thrive after 50, food must come first. Build your foundation with real meals. Fill your plate with colors, with life, with variety. Make water your drink, not soda. Make whole foods your medicine, not candy-coated capsules. When you do that, your supplements can finally do their job. They can add strength to strength. They can reinforce what you're already building. Think about it like this. Imagine a soldier going into battle. Would you send him out with armor but no weapon? Would you give him a shield but no training? No. You'd prepare him fully. Supplements are the armor. Food is the weapon. Without both, you are unprepared. But without food, the battle is already lost. So stop leaning on bottles. Stop searching for salvation in capsules. Start respecting your body enough to give it what it really craves, real, whole, living food. That is where energy begins. That is where healing begins. That is where longevity begins. And hear me on this, it's never too late to change. You don't need a perfect diet to start. You just need to make one better choice today. Add a handful of greens. Choose water over soda. Step into the sun. Cook one meal at home. Each choice is a brick. Each choice builds the foundation stronger, because after 50, you don't need shortcuts. You need truth. And the truth is simple. Food first, supplements second. Get that order wrong, and you will always struggle. Get it right, and you'll feel the difference. Not just in your body, but in your spirit, in your energy, in your life. We live in a world that tells us more is better. More supplements, more routines, more gadgets, more promises. Every day you're bombarded with ads that say, if you just add this pill, this powder, this program, then you'll finally be healthy. But let me tell you something the world doesn't want you to hear. Health is not about more. It's about less. It's about simplicity. It's about awareness. After 50, your body isn't asking you to complicate things. It's asking you to strip them down, to remove the noise, the clutter, the endless chasing. What your body needs most right now is clarity, simplicity, attention to the basics that most people overlook. Think about it. The healthiest people you know over 50 are not the ones with a medicine cabinet full of bottles. They're not the ones swallowing 20 different pills each morning like it's a ritual of survival. No. The healthiest people are the ones who live simply, who understand their body, who know what matters and what doesn't. They sleep, they move, they drink water, they eat real food, they listen, they adjust, they're aware. That's the power of simplicity and awareness. But here's the problem. People make health harder than it has to be. They believe the lie that if it's not complicated, it won't work. That if it doesn't come in a shiny package with scientific jargon, it must not be powerful. And so they pile on more supplements, more routines, more noise, and all that noise drowns out the truth because deep down, you already know the truth. Your body has been whispering it to you for years. Get more sleep, drink more water, move more, breathe deeper, eat real food, slow down. But you haven't been listening. You've been distracted. You've been chasing complexity when the answers were right in front of you. Let me give you a reality check. Simplicity isn't weakness. Simplicity is strength. It takes strength to say no to the noise. It takes wisdom to focus on what really matters. It takes courage to strip away the clutter and live with clarity. Awareness is the same. Awareness is power. When you're aware of your body, you notice the small signals. You hear the whispers before they become screams. You feel the tightness, the fatigue, the imbalance. And instead of ignoring it, instead of covering it up with another pill, you adjust, you respond, you honor your body. That awareness can save your life because sickness rarely arrives overnight. It builds slowly in silence over years of ignoring the whispers. But awareness breaks that cycle. Awareness catches the danger early. Awareness gives you the chance to turn around before it's too late. So let me ask you, are you paying attention? Are you listening? Or are you drowning your body's voice with noise, with clutter, with more and more? Because simplicity and awareness are not glamorous, but they are powerful. They are what separate those who live strong and long from those who burn out early. You don't need 10 supplements. You need the right one. You don't need a complicated routine. You need a consistent one. You don't need to copy what everyone else is doing. You need to know yourself, your needs, your rhythms. That's awareness. That's wisdom. That's power. So stop chasing every new bottle, every new promise. Stop complicating what was meant to be simple. Come back to the basics. Master sleep, master nutrition, master hydration, master movement, and let supplements do what they were designed to do, support, not replace. Simplicity brings focus. Awareness brings freedom. Together, they bring health. Because in the end, it's not about how much you can take, it's about how well you can live. And living well after 50 is not about noise, it's about clarity. Not about excess, it's about balance. Not about chasing everything, it's about mastering the few things that truly matter. That's the power of simplicity. That's the power of awareness. And that's the power you must claim right now before another year slips away. So ask yourself today, what can I let go of? What noise can I silence? What signal from my body have I been ignoring? Answer those questions honestly, and you'll find that health isn't as complicated as they've made it seem. It's simple. It's clear. It's powerful. And it's waiting for you to choose it.